Welcome back to Part 2 of our Special Permission Access Abusir expedition. In Part 1, we explored the pyramids of Neferirkare in Niuserre and the anomalous features of their eastern temples. We also examined the mysterious blue stone and the precision stone inlaid container at the mastaba of Ptahshepses. In this episode, we will investigate the Pyramid of Sahure and its eastern and valley temples. We will research its extensive surviving conduit system and study the many puzzling features of this temple.
I'm Lex Levy, and this is Ancient Odysseys. Today we're here at Abusir, and behind me is the pyramid and temple complex of Sahure.
This is a 3D rendering of the Pyramid of Sahure, the satellite pyramid, and the Eastern Temple, created by Keith Hamilton. The different geologies utilized are represented as follows: black being the basalt used as a dado at the entrance and the pavement of the courtyard and its ambulatory, and pink being red granite used largely for door frames, columns, and casing for the offering hall, statue niches, and the courtyard ambulatory, and yellow representing limestone, making up the core and the remaining structures. There was once a second story, and there are remnants of stairwells in the northern and southern magazines, as well as a ramp in the northeast corner. A fragment of the roof adorned with stars survives in the courtyard, and we'll see this later in our expedition. This is a reconstruction of the Sahure Eastern Temple done by Borchardt. Here he has included the roof of the temple and positioned the basalt line-headed spouts that I spoke about in Part 1. This is a depiction of the columned entrance prepared by Borchardt during its excavation. Here is the believed cartouche of Sahure.
Inside of here, and we'll see the evidence of the staircase that used to take you up to the second floor. The archaeologist that excavated the site was Borchardt, and he did extensive documentation of what was found here and recreations of the structure. He has drawings of what this temple would look like with both floors. Where's the evidence of this? And it's all extrapolated from the existing archaeological data, and they've attempted to draw what they think was originally here.
As we explore, we will find that this temple complex had significant security measures. Scattered around the complex, we will see granite pieces with a rebate cut into them with tube drill holes. These granite fragments are remnants of the door frames, and the holes would have contained bolts to secure them. In Borchardt's reconstruction, we see that two bolts emerge from the granite frame, and at one end they are wider. This is to prevent them from being withdrawn completely from the frame, as the hole in the metal plate, which covers the channel, would be smaller at the end. Borchardt has the metal plate secured at its bottom by a threshold block, while at its top, it's secured by an overlying masonry block. Here, Borchardt has a door displaying 3 bolts, which is found in the Valley Temple, and we will see later. The difference here is that basalt pieces were used to prevent the bolts from being withdrawn. And these basalt pieces were kept in place with a metal covering is shown in the 2-bolt door. In this photo, we can see a channel in the upper face of the stone in which the metal cover plate would have been anchored into. Unfortunately, none of these metal components or doors survived the looting of the temple. So why the need for all of these security measures? During my research, I found that Pairing had retrieved hieroglyphs from inside the Pyramid of Sahure, which include Nebu, meaning gold, and the scepter, meaning fine gold. Also, Nebu is present on the side entrance columns. Pairing also recorded Nebu from inside the Pyramid of Neferirkare. In Part 1, I discussed the secret passage and bolt system that is within the Eastern Temple of Niuserre. It is similar to what is found at Qasr el-Saga, which is known as the Palace of the Goldsmith. The high security measures, the hieroglyphs meaning gold, and the intricate conduit system leads me to believe that the Abusir pyramid complex was used for the refinement of gold.
False door.
This is a layout of the southern magazines as envisioned by Borchardt. Here you have a glimpse of the second-story chambers, the roof, and its decorative cavetto, and the way the chambers were possibly illuminated by these apertures. He included where he believed the basalt line-headed spouts we discussed in Part 1 were positioned.
Looks like remnants of
Here
staircase.
are more examples of really exquisitely carved hieroglyphs. And you can kind of see the difference between some of the other ones that we've seen. Here is the remains of our channel, the beginning of the remains of the channel system. And if you guys all kind of stick together, you can kind of walk. And then the casing of the red granite. Yeah. So this is a very complex conduit system, piping system.
I'm coming.
This is Borchardt's temple plan. The basin locations are highlighted in blue. and the red line represents the intricate layout of the conduit system. This conduit system runs through the courtyard and down the causeway to the Valley Temple. The basins had a copper pipe attached to their bottoms and a plug made of lead with a copper ring which closed the hole. These are the lead plugs with the copper rings that Borchardt found during its excavation. These are photos of a copper pipe mortared into a section of conduit that Borchardt found. Borchardt would suggest that the eyelet was made of copper and the cast rings that connected these pipes were made of yellowish bronze, and he thought this was remarkable for the period. In places, only crystalline verdigris left on the mortar indicated the presence of copper pipe, and in some places, oxidized copper sheeting was found. These are photos I took of an incredibly interesting and rare piece of conduit that merges two channels. Perhaps this was used to mix two different solutions. It is not clear where this piece was originally positioned. This is a photo I took of a curved portion of the conduit system that runs towards the satellite pyramid. Perhaps this system was connected to other structures. You will see as we walk east down the causeway that there are surviving segments that lead all the way to what remains of the Valley Temple. While exploring the Valley Temple, now mostly quarried away and covered in foliage and sand, we discovered this circular basin, which appears to be made of basalt. You can see how it's connected to the conduit system. This circular basin is totally omitted from all the temple surveys and schematics that I've seen. This is Borchardt's reconstruction of the Valley Temple to the Pyramid of Sahure. This is Borchardt's plan of the Valley Temple, which omits the basin that we found. And this is Keith Hamilton's 3D rendering of the Valley Temple, which defines where the basalt, red granite, and limestone was utilized. Why was there this intricate conduit system and basin embedded beneath the basalt pavement of the Valley Temple court to collect, quote-unquote, rainfall drainage? It could have easily been directed into the Nile floodplain, as it is just cubits away.
So this is the channel system. So you'll see here this channel or conduit that runs all the way through here. It branches off in this direction here, and we'll follow this conduit kind of through the site. So you can see the stairways here that were leading up to the second floor of the temple here on the left. This conduit was again fitted with a copper pipe that was mortared into place. So they found the mortar and they found the copper pipe. And again, just more huge pieces here. Here's another one with drill that would have housed a door hinge or some sort of mechanism here. And here you can see the first good evidence of the blue-green oxide. So this had copper laid into the engraving. There would have been a beautiful metal inlay set into this engraving. Make sure these pieces didn't fall apart. One on one side and one on the other side.
The Pyramid of Sahure is currently closed to the public and is undergoing restoration work as the substructure is at risk of collapse. Here's the northern entrance that was cemented shut during our expedition. This is Borchart's reconstruction of the Pyramid of Sahure, and you can see a 6-step core and 3 layers of massive chevrons over the primary chamber, forming the A-frame, which is located in the center of the pyramid and level with the bedrock. This is Keith Hamilton's 3D reconstruction of the substructure of Sahure. Red granite was utilized in the descending passage, the portcullis, and the band that immediately precedes the antechamber. The single portcullis system is similar to what we saw in the Pyramid of Usarkov.
Here is Saqqara Country Club. And you can see how beautiful it is and the view that they have of the pyramid site. And this is a place where you can rent ATVs. You can see the tracks out here from people taking ATVs out here and racing through the desert in the ATVs, which is a great way to get around out here. And if you look there, there's remains of another pyramid structure in the distance. So when we go to the Egyptian Museum, you will see some components that are metal hinged door posts, that it's a metal rectangular frame that would have gone on the Saqqara, which also has a 5-pointed blade but has a much different configuration.
طب هو بيطلع من هنا؟
Conjecture that they could copper piping this
وحدي تبي the untouched in Saqqara. Six statues
Yes, here. Again, more of the hieroglyphs. You can see the Jed pillar here. Archaeological plans for the site, this is not indicated. This looks like it's still buried. It just happened to be that enough wind blew through this area to kind of expose this rim here. It's hard to say. This is not even shown. Yeah, it's not on the drawings, on board charts or archaeology, where they grid everything. And sections are dug out section at a time, documenting what's found in each little grid section. And little brushes and stuff, removing soil very, very carefully.
This concludes our expedition to Abusir. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more epic adventures from Ancient Odysseys. Never stop exploring. If you want to help support our adventures, please like, share, subscribe, and pick up some badass Ancient Odysseys merch. The link is in the video description below. Also, please subscribe to our 2 new channels, Egyptian Trash Cats, where we document our saga in caring for the street cats of Egypt, and Egypt Eats, for all of our crazy culinary adventures. Thank you all very much.